Mission start.
Alright, here we go. Hello! Welcome to this special episode of Mission Start, episode 6, the special Halloween edition. I'm your host, Anthony Bianis, and my two minions over here. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Who the fuck are you calling a minion?
You are mine,
Yeah,
bitch.
really.
You are my bitches.
Don't make me get out the whip now.
Just like what's her name did in the last episode of forgot the anime, or one talking about Nate, the one that we saw where
Seitokai.
Yeah, who knew she was such a dominatrix? Anyways, go on.
I'm Alex.
You can call me Nate.
All right. So, we're it's Halloween edition. I can't talk right now, can I? Just to let you guys know, we're recording this at like 9:30 at night on a Friday, so I may be half out of it or in it, depending on how much sugar I have in me tonight. So, yeah. All right. So we'll start off as usual, which I've been playing and which I've been watching, or both. Second segment. I'm still working on it. I'll keep it a surprise, but a hint of what is going to be called is Trick or Treat. And then Sunday is going to be the news segment. So who wants to go first?
Nobody really.
All right.
Currently.
I'll go first since I'm always the
You
one.
go first.
Yeah, since I'm the only one. God damn it! Since I'm the one that always goes last every time. There we go. All right, you can already tell I'm like it's gonna be a great podcast. All right.
Dance, monkey, dance.
All right. Well, what I've been playing recently is I picked up on Blue Shift. On Half-Life Blue Shift. And I don't know if I talked about it last week.
What's it called?
Half-Life Blue Shift.
Oh, okay. It sounded like something else.
Did I talk about it last week, or was that something else?
I didn't hear about it.
Okay. Yeah, so I've been playing a bit of that. And Blue Shift is more. It's the you get to be Barney pretty much, and every other NPC or police officer in that game was pretty much Barney. So you're just a clone of many Barneys, except for one fat guy that apparently is like who just eats donuts for most of the time. But it takes place like during the events of Half-Life 1, and you're trying to survive, alongside Gordon Freeman. So Gordon Freeman's doing all his things, and like progressing through, trying to survive, and you're doing your own thing. So it is an interesting kind of storyline wise of what's happening. It's a really short game. So I think like 10 levels long, or chapters. So there isn't much to it, but I'm already like more than halfway done, and it was the classic kind of Half-Life feeling, and I had to get back used to that. So like getting back to where I have to go on the ladder and like grab onto it right, or else I will fall to my death, which I kind of did periodically in that game, and I mean, like, you have your shotguns, your pistols, you got your crazy ass weapons in the first Half-Life game. And it's it's pretty cool. Puzzle. It seems like in the first Half-Life, like some of the puzzles were actually a bit harder than Half-Life 2. So I mean, there are some hard ones in the Blue Shift, but um, yeah, I just kind of had to get my mind back thinking to the way I used to play it back in 1997. Yeah, yeah, or 97, 98 when this game came out. So, but yeah, I mean, like it's good so far. I mean, I want to. I'm kind of still empty on the story as far as Blue Shift is concerned, but I'm hopefully by the end of it there'll be a bit more insights to Barney's story a little bit. But aside from that, I've been really been going back to my PSP. And I've been really going back to and playing like MotorStorm, and Soul Calibur. I got it working again, and yeah, my PSP so far has been my reliable. It's been my source for gaming for these past couple of weeks.
It's your faithful companion.
Pretty much my second computer. So yeah, I picked up on MotorStorm recently, and the graphics on MotorStorm are really good. The tracks themselves, I mean, like there are so far what I've seen, they're well done. They're something you would see out of MotorStorm. Oh, and I probably should explain what MotorStorm is to people who don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
What the hell are you talking about?
It starts with motor, so that's a clue.
Yeah. MotorStorm Arctic Edge or Arctic Rift. It's based on the PS3 game of MotorStorm 2, Pacific Rift, and MotorStorm it's a racing game where you get to use different vehicles, motorcycle, big rigs, buggies, not tanks, but kind of your all four wheel kind of whatever runs on a dirt or sand or ice, and it already came out like a year or two ago, and it's pretty good. The second one at least, and yeah, it's and the cool part about MotorStorm is that they always have like these set paths you can take that is required for some people, and like say like you're on a motorcycle and there's a path specifically for you can use. It's optional, you don't have to, but it's like in some places in some places you can take this other path than the normal routes would be, and then also the fact that in this game, if you're like a motorcycle and you're next to a big rig and you're racing and the big rig hits you or like kind of nudges you, the real life of motorcycle versus the big rig doesn't go pretty well for the motorcycle. So in this game, if you're smaller than the opponent or the truck or whatever next to you, you will stand some damage and you will not likely be knocked off the race and restarted and back onto whatever they place you on the track. But the PSP version, MotorStorm Arctic Ridge, is basically the same thing, except this time around you're in more of a snow level, and you use different vehicles like the MotorStorm games. And the cool thing about it is that, I mean, it has a set playlist already, the music you can have, but also if you have music on your PSP, you can add those to your playlist. So, like this one, it's funny because like one of the songs like I had just like turned on when I started a race. It's like it's the song "Cake," "Going the Distance," and that was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool moment for me. I mean, it was like just kind of as it loads up and as you're like kind of your car being shown at different cool angles, and you hear like Cake just kind of having the song going around the background as you're repping up, and you're like, yeah, this fits. This is pretty awesome. But yeah, it, Motorstorm Arctic Ridge is pretty good as far as you can go back and play like a race or two in between classes or just to burn time. And it's for PSP and it's pretty good. And I forgot to mention the one last thing about it because I've been going on quite a long time about it already. Um, they have this online component where you don't have to be near another PSP to play somebody with the same game. You can actually have it connected to the internet via Wi-Fi and have online matches with other people who have the game and the PSP through the internet, which is awesome feature, because of course you can't talk to each other, but it makes it more of a better option. Although I'm sure that PSPs. I mean, I need the system itself is selling pretty well, but software wise, people just steal them off the internet, ISO. But I think regardless, I think people are still gonna pick it up and play the game. So it's pretty good. Go check it out. But let's see, you've been playing that. I've talked about Soul Calibur before on the PSP. I just recently got back into it just because I finally got it working on my PSP again, and I've been going back with my move list, just remembering some of the moves I've forgotten to do with my character Jean Noir, and it's the only thing I have a gripe about is like since the D-pad on the PSP is more, it doesn't have that kind of it's not connected as well as a 360 D-pad where it's more of a circle than an actual D-pad. Doing diagonal attacks with the D-pad on PSP it's not working as much for me. So I often have to switch to the nub to do like a diagonal attack that I want to do. But other than that, it's still the same. It's still an awesome game to play. And I've been going back. I've been going back as those two as my main points for playing games in between classes or at work or oh shit. I should say that. When I'm on break at work, where I
Busted.
where I love my work and I do very hard. Yeah, they don't listen to this podcast, so it's fine. Well, yeah, unless they found it one day and they figure out, this other side of me. But anyways, um, those are the games I've been playing lately. But I think this weekend and then next weekend, we'll talk about it a bit more in the news. But the Team Fortress 2, I'm gonna be heading up this weekend, and then Left 4 Dead 2 next week with the demo coming out November 3rd. So I'm excited. So I'm gonna be probably up late playing some TF2 and Left 4 Dead 2 for a while. But the anime I've been watching, the same series as Nate, which I always forget the name of it, but
Setokai no Ichizo.
Setokai no Ichizo. Okay, I'm gonna write
Good
that
job.
down. Yeah, I actually pronounced something right for once.
You have to say it slow so that it gets inside their head.
Yeah, but I've been watching
Say
that.
it every 10 seconds.
I'll do it later. But yeah, I've been watching that. I just watched was it the third episode that came out last week, or third or fourth.
Fourth episode.
Oh, fourth, yeah. It was pretty good. Yeah, it is developing something. I mean, like I said before, like when the first two episodes came out, like it didn't have an identity when it came out, to me at least. But it's starting to mold into its own. Kind of wish that they kind of take the setting outside of the club room that they always use. So like because it's cool. I mean, like all this stuff happens there, but like yeah, I mean, like I kind of wish I want. I mean, I'm sure it's a long series, but I want to see it taken outside or like taken somewhere else. But other than that, it's still pretty good. Fan service is there. You get to know a little bit more about some of the characters, especially the blonde one that apparently is a yaoi fan. So, yeah. Yeah, so I've been watching that, and then I just picked up on a new anime that my friend suggested to me. Um, I'm probably gonna pronounce it wrong, like every other anime title I seem to butcher. Uh,
I will correct.
but it's called uh, Akikon. It's AKK
Akikon.
Akikon. Okay. See. So I've been watching that. I've like watched the first 3 episodes or 2 episodes. Um, so far I'm enjoying it. It's about these soda cans. Like, what if they took the form of a human being, or in this case, girls, teenage girls, and so the setting is that this kid, kind of cocky kid, he likes to collect cans and drink them while naked or out of a shower, and he picked up one from the soda machine nearby and he drinks it, but then suddenly the soda machine that or the soda that he drinks, actually there's a real life person that, or like a human, like a, it's hard to describe. Like, say, yeah, basically the cans turns to a girl, and every time he drinks it, like uh it transform into her human form, kissing the guy or whoever is drinking it, and it is pretty it's pretty cool. I mean, I have to say it is pretty interesting. It is original. I like the fact that it is like this kind of you know people or cans or whatnot. The creativity is pretty cool. First episode though, guy drinks the can. She finds him naked, and he believes it's all a dream. Oh man, that was hilarious. He thinks it's all a dream, and he starts like molesting the girl, and then like at one point like he's like thrusting, he's like doing a crab walk and thrusting his hips upwards, and she's like freaking out. uh and then it was funny, the like towards the end, like the government that was looking over this project goes to his house, and the prime minister that walks in, like he's into guys, so like when he saw him on the ground with like nothing but a towel, he tells him, "I'd like to discuss business with you, but since you're in that position already, I can't help myself." He starts to undress, and then like, yeah, shit happens. I mean, like, no yaoi or anything, but it's just hilarious. He like passes out, and it's like, yeah. So
Interest.
yeah, so it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm enjoying it. So I'm on the second episode, so I'll probably continue it maybe later on this weekend. But yeah. Aside from that and that, I haven't been watching as much anime. Sort of. Yeah. This past, yeah. So yeah. That's what I've been up to. So whatever one of you guys can take the spotlight now.
I guess I'll start next. For games, I've been playing something called Crucius Fatal Fake. It's the continuation to the next game, the earlier game called Fatal Fake. Something similar to Sony PlayStation's Fate Unlimited Codes. Something similar, but it's more for PC instead of for PlayStation. It's kind of hard to explain, just basic fighting. the difference between Sony's PlayStation Unlimited Codes and Crucius Fatal Fake is that um, I can say that one moves sideways more, but there's not really much difference between them. I can say that one's a dojin game and one's not. Another game. Do you have questions for those? I mean, yeah, for that.
No, it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it's an anime game, a fighting anime game, and it's, PS2 graphics, or it's just kind of, it's. I mean, there's nothing much to say about it. I mean, like, it's like every other anime game that ever been produced, as far as like a fighting game, either be Soul Eater or Naruto or whatever. It's pretty much using the PS2 graphics or PC graphics to make a side scroller 2D fighter or like a 3D fighter. But it is what it is. So I mean, like, there's nothing really much to explain other than it's a fighting game. So, and it's for anime fans majority of the time.
Okay. The other game I was playing recently is something that came out from Comiket, Toho's Mystical Chain, or sometimes they call it Mystic Chain. It's another 2D side-scrolling game, somewhat from the graphics of either Mega Man or Mario, only you play two people, you choose both of them, and you make chain combos, and you play up to find a boss. And basically, you rack up as much points as you can, just like every other Toho game. And I haven't beaten the game yet because sometimes you have only a limited amount of lives, and it's kind of hard sometimes. Even because even the difficulty's hard. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, like, no, I looked up a bit more on that, because the recent video that I found out that is pretty cool. I'll probably put on the show notes, but yeah, I mean, like, I looked up some of it before the podcast, and it reminds me of kind of like the 1942 airplane games where, like, you have like a bunch of shit coming at you, like these dots you have to dodge and avoid, and like it looks pretty damn hard. It looks as hard as, like, you have to be precise or else you will die within like the next little move that you will make and get hit. It looks pretty hard, but like, yeah, I mean, like, do you follow the story or what they're showing from these games?
I try to follow the story, but the game I was referring to is an unofficial one, so it's not those vertical shooting ones. It's an offset of game that's trying to make its own from those vertical shooting ones. But they're trying to copy the difficulty from those. That's all I can say. You can try to compare it to those because they have easy, normal, hard, and the ultimate. That's the one that really, it makes your mind blow.
Why do you think people love to play these type of games? I mean, it makes you frustrated. I mean, why?
Because it blows their minds.
Yeah, I have no idea why. I mean, if you look up on the DeviantArt, you can see people. They make fun of some of the way. Even I mean, some of the people. I mean, I don't know how they do it on the ultimate level, but some of those drawings, they like kind of make fun of them. All they do is sit on the computer, well, even though they have a girlfriend girlfriend's boobs right stuck in their face, and then while they're playing the game with a speech bubble says, "I'm trying to play the game. Get out of my face."
That would be pretty sad, but yeah.
I've seen an image similar to that.
Yeah.
If it were me, I'd be using her buttons more than the keyboard.
Oh yeah, but I'm sure that they wouldn't notice.
Yeah, you gotta find him first, pal. There ain't no strategy guide for that shit.
True that.
So, other than that, I was playing a recently new MMO that came out called Lost Saga. You're basically a basic brawler where you get to choose multiple characters. Supposedly there's supposed to be over 100 characters you can choose from, but right now they only came out with like 13 or 10 of them, but they'll slowly come out with more over time.
Yeah, I've saw it on your Twitter lately. What are you said like there's only like brawlers right now? Are there any other classes that you could choose from in that game?
Well, basically they're trying to imitate heroes from other movies. Like, there's one of them called the Space Trooper, which really, really looks like a stormtrooper from Star Wars. There's a hero that hasn't come out yet also that looks like Captain America. And they imitate some other ones like a Shadow Ninja, a Shadow Assassin, someone called the Crazy Sapper, which is basically a mind blow, blows up mines and all that, and every other stuff like mages and all that stuff.
Is it free? Is this game free?
Well, if I wasn't able to play it earlier, then it wouldn't have been free. So yeah, it's free.
Oh, okay. What is it like? What does the graphics look like? Are they in the same vein as like some other kind of Korean MMOs, where it's like very simple, very cel shaded, or is it like trying to be like WoW in some way?
Well, they're trying to make it WoW with all of the blowing up, like bam, all that. Like with the fire mage, they're trying to intensify the fire's way of looking at. And also, when you do certain types of special attacks, they make it like look like as if you're doing a cutscene. So it kind of modifies the way the graphics are in a way. So I'd say they kind of make it look better than it is, even though you're somewhat like a chibi kind of hero-like guy.
Okay. How long have you been playing this so far?
I've only played it like for 2 days, but it's okay.
All right. Cool. So, anything else?
Still got the anime. Let's see. Other than the Seitokai no Ichizon, which you still got to figure out. I recently watched some new Shauna series. I'm sure you have too. Something called Shauna S came out. Shauna G came out. Both of them are in correlation with each other. Shauna S is basically an OVA, and Shauna G is basically a Shaunaton version of Shauna S. And something called Shaunaton Revenge came out, which is a Shaunaton of something. That's a Shaunaton. That's all I can say.
So a shitload of Shauna. Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the first episode of both. When did the Shauna G came out, or like the episode? Because like I know it was DVD, but I was waiting for like the Blu-ray release.
Came out a little bit after Shauna F.
Oh, okay. All right. I probably should ask for that
Just
later
had,
on.
yeah, you just have to keep an eye out on the letters. I mean, the letters was a little bit hard to look
Okay.
at. Other than that, I finally finished Koihime Muso. It was kind of an old anime, basically fan service martial arts, which is kind of good.
So boobage and violence. Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, don't forget comedy. I always love comedy.
Right. Cool.
Also finished its OVA, so yeah. It also has a sequel coming out. Oh yeah, it has a sequel coming already called Shin Koihime Muso. And oops. Other than that, I watched the first episode of 11 Eyes. It's an anime that's based off a visual novel. And other than that, that's pretty much it.
Hold on. Go back to that 11 Eyes. Can you tell me a bit more about it? Because I'm actually kind of curious just off the title.
All right. 11 Eyes is basically you're this the main character is this guy named Satsuki Kakeru. He lost his sister when he was really young by a suicide, but when he was little, it wasn't really much. Well, it was not a normal suicide. It was some sort of supernatural suicide because he also got hurt during the suicide by some sort of it looked like a monster in the first episode. That's all, because this monster, while she was dying in the first episode, this monster-like thing came out and hurt Kakeru in the process while she was dying, and it was really traumatizing for Kakeru. And because of that past, Kakeru lived he had a quiet life, so you can describe that. You know, one of those silent type children.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And his only trust on was someone named Minase Yuka, or he just called him Yuka for short. And also had other two friends. I don't remember the names right now. One was a boy, one was a girl. The guy is really perverted and, predictable. and then one day they were going to go to I think some sort of shopping mall, and then when they were walking on a bridge, some sort of weird supernatural thing happened where all these monsters came out, and some weird paranormal aura came surrounding them. It like insanely hit or hurt their mental awareness, and the monsters disappeared. They didn't know what the heck happened. And Yuka's parents disappeared, and she was all depressed and everything. And Kakeru didn't know what was going on. Note that he only has one eye, which is kind of the theme for 11 Eyes. And then,
wait.
So there's the story.
Is his wait? Does that mean like his other eye? He has like an eye patch for it, or like is it like?
Yeah.
So in essence, he could be Solid Snake, right?
He's not a guy that wears army stuff, okay? He's a regular school guy, okay?
Snake!
You don't see him walk around in the box, okay? Anyway, and Solid Snake doesn't have a schoolgirl with him.
Have you seen the new PSP game?
Oh, okay. No.
Anyways, go on.
I don't think that's quite the same.
Well, it's his daughter, but it's yeah, it is technically a schoolgirl if she did go to school.
Okay. Well, anyway, continuing on, they 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 continued on with their life, but then like a short life, but the next day those monsters appeared back, and then his eye patch started glowing, and that was like to be continued.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So, now go on. I was just trying to fill up the empty space.
Yeah, I'm done. No, go on. I'm done.
Are you done? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess that's my turn.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I haven't really actually gotten on anything new. I've continued watching stuff that I was already watching, like Darker Than Black 2. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Yeah, you did last week. What episode are you on right now?
I haven't had to watch time to watch the latest episode. I think the last one I watched was 3. There's one that I kind of started watching, but I only actually watched the 0 episode. But it's the size of an actual episode. It's called Winter Sonata, and I think it's supposed to be about this guy and this girl in Korea, and then from what I've gathered of the 0 episode, the guy's going blind, and he moves to New York for some reason, probably to be around some sort of family, so that when he does go blind, he's not going to be completely.
Okay.
So yeah, I kind of have high hopes, and I kind of don't. It's like I think the story is going to be good, but the facial expressions seem a little lacking.
Not enough in the animation department.
You could say that. I think the guys could spend a little time actually looking at people who, have emotion.
Okay.
Aside from that, I watched a couple movies, but none that really have anything to do with anime or games. Continuing playing Red Faction, I finally got to EOS after. The funny thing is I unlocked it like about a week ago, but there's been just so much shit to blow up. I just haven't.
That's all it's about.
Damn right.
Yeah, but this is quite a special case. I think I thought like Dust was big, and now I get to EOS, and it's probably like 2 or 3 times the size. Part of it is also that it's like a bunch of mountains and shit, so there's like even more crap around.
Damn.
It kind of helps because you get the jetpack too, so it makes it a little bit easier to run away from the EDF.
Nice. Awesome.
On top of that, it kind of shows how cheap the EDF is as well. Because like they've got this memorial bridge, and that's like really the first thing that I went over to blow up that I've finally actually gotten through. Because I've spent all this time like trying to use this thermobaric rocket, which is unbelievable. Basically, it's kind of like you have the rocket launcher, but the thermobaric rocket is basically like 3 or 4 of those rocket launchers in one.
God damn. What is that? Is it like a fucking nuke or something?
Pretty close.
Shit.
Well, obviously you can be like, I don't know, I guess it would probably be like 500, 100 yards away and still be fine, but if you're close to it, it's not very good.
Yeah, I can imagine. Question: have you ever tried using your jetpack, like get as high as you can, and like shoot off one of your rockets just below you, and just like kind of like let it explode, and like kind of like kind of enter in as it's kind of the poop of smoke kind of going about.
No, because I would die.
I mean like after like.
No. See, here's the thing. The jetpack does not really get you that high. I mean, it'll get you like 20, 30 feet off the ground every time you do it, but it's kind of slow and cumbersome.
Ah.
And the thermobaric rocket would definitely kill me.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, my original plan was just to blow the living hell out of the bridge using the thermobaric rockets. And one of the things that I've realized is the EDF is really fucking cheap in EOS. Because it's like, I used the thermobaric rockets and I was going around trying to get all the scrap, and I was like, well, there's really not a lot of scrap in here. Maybe I need to do this like more with the actual, like the remote bombs, and get kind of close to it so that if there's like scrap around, it doesn't respawn or whatever, like disappear while I'm running away from the EDF. So
right.
What basically happens is today I took like maybe a half hour to destroy this stupid fucking bridge, and I was using the sledgehammer pretty much the entire time, and then whenever my thing got too high, I would run away just to make sure that I could get all the scrap that I could before, like the area resets or whatever. And after all that, I realized I didn't get much scrap, and most of that bridge was concrete.
Damn.
And compared to real life, concrete is kind of a crappy material to be using in Red Faction because you don't get shit from blowing that up.
Yeah.
You could go through blocks and blocks of concrete all day, never a little bit of scrap. You have to at least have a little bit of metal in order to get any real amount of scrap.
Right. So how much scrap did you end up getting out of your workload that you did?
I didn't count, but not much.
And how long did it take you to do all this?
Half hour to an hour with the sledgehammer. Probably could have done it a lot faster with the thermobaric rocket, but I was trying to avoid attention.
Right.
Because the thing is, if I use the thermobaric rocket, that is pretty much guaranteed that I'm going to have tanks on my ass.
Yeah. You're in their base, so like pretty much anything you set off or make, the loudest noise, they'll like be alerted, and you got like a shit ton of units just on your ass.
No, it's just because it's a thermobaric rocket.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Ah, okay. Cool. Well then, in that case, we're gonna take a short break, and then we'll come back and we'll have a topic to discuss. I'll figure out somehow for tomorrow. But I'll just entitle the topic for tomorrow, Trick or Treat, since it is Halloween weekend and everybody's going to be out tomorrow night or whenever you hear this podcast. Probably Monday. You'll have kids with like rotten teeth and overloaded in sugar on a hangover.
So just like conventions.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
And with that, we'll be right back.
雫と
welcome back to Mission Start. Um, the topic I said before, I didn't quite know what to make of it. I didn't quite figure it out until later on today. So we're gonna talk about what were the scariest games, anime, or even movies that scared the crap out of us, or the ones that we just really like. And then we'll move on and talk about how cosplay has gone into the mainstream, especially during Halloween. So, yeah, guys, who wants to start off with anything that scared the crap out of them when they were a kid or even now?
You go first.
All right, fine. Let me think.
Yes. This section, this podcast, everything starts off with you.
As in the words of another great podcaster, this is my goddamn show. So, all right, cool. All right, I will. Okay, so I think the scary, I mean, like back then when I was like what, 8, 9, maybe even younger. My cousin gave me a bunch of CDs for the PlayStation 1. One of them, one of them was part like part 1 or part 2 CDs for Resident Evil 2. And when I put that on and when I played that, like I was so in knee deep trying to get it finished, but every time I managed to finish the CD, like I didn't have the second one, so I was like able to finish like halfway. But like, man, it gave me just like the nightmares. Like it scared the shit out of me. I mean, at the time, seeing an undead zombie, like the first kind of screen you see, where like it's like the camera's panning up to the face of the zombie and zombie eyes looking at you. It's like, yeah, it scared the crap out of me. So like, yeah, man, for me, Resident Evil 2 was like the scariest shit in a video game that scared the crap out of me. But let's see that, and then let's see what else. Movie wise, like I don't watch many horror movies, but I remember one horror movie that like scared the crap out of me. Like I saw it once and like I got nightmares the next night. Uh, it's a kind of old movie. It's called I think it's off of Stephen King. I'm not sure, but it was named It, the kind of vampire clown or whatever the hell he was. And like I saw the movie of it, and yeah, it was just like it scared the crap out of me. Like the scene where he drags one of the kids down to the sewer, and then all you hear is like the kid screaming while the guy is like feasting, like is eating on him, and it's like, man, yeah, that part really scared the crap out of me. Like I didn't.
That sounds wrong on so many levels.
I know it does. But man, like when I first saw that, I was like, yeah, I just had some sleepless nights for the past couple of days. But man, yeah, it was pretty scary for me at the time. And then anime wise, I mean, like I didn't see no horror anime until like a year or two, like earlier, or like I mean like I haven't seen like any horror anime until like recently. And the thing that brings it to mind realistically is the Higurashi series, especially the first season. It didn't scare me, but like it had some scenes where like it was like whoa, like it like yeah, if I was younger, I'd be like kind of scared and not watch the series ever again. But like just some of the scenes that kind of was a bit disturbing to me. Spoilers alert, but like the part where during the twin arc with man, what's her name?
Shion and Mion.
Yeah, like I mean, like, it was a good arc, and it left me guessing as to who was really who, towards the end. But like, um, man, like towards the like, I can't remember how exactly, but like towards the end, like where one of them, is about to stab KG with one of the nails while he's in bed. I don't know why, but that seemed to like scare me in a way. I don't know. I can't remember exactly, but like I just know that art kind of left me guessing and left me kind of in that shock factor kind of way. I never looked at green hair girls ever again. But
Oh, that's not nice.
hey, I'm just saying, but
No, just kidding.
Just give her the teddy bear. It'll be fine.
as long as she doesn't stab me to death. But it's just like maybe that scene, and like there were some other scenes that were kind of a bit disturbing, like where Rika is like killing herself with a knife. That was kind of like disturbing to me when I first saw that. Um, and then like there's some other scenes that were kind of just like, yeah, they were a bit creepy. But yeah, I mean like Higurashi the first season. I mean the one thing I kind of wish in the second season. I think because I've grown to like it is that I kind of wish for more of the kind of the same in the second season, like in the first. I mean the other way around. Where I would I just wanted to
You mean
see.
you wish that all? You mean you wish that all of the animation from the second season was just like from the same as the first season?
Well, not animation wise, but just I wanted to see, kind of the same thing with the story arcs, but not as connected. Maybe like towards the end. I mean, I was like at the end of the second season, it's like that was a good anime, but I kind of missed the them going crazy and killing each other kind of deal. Yeah. So, but I mean, those are the kind of three that come to mind. I mean, um, yeah. I mean, like that's kind of what I've been what's really scared me. But yeah. So either of you can take the floor.
Uh, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't really watch horror because I don't know, something like after I hit 10, 11, 12, something like that, that entire part of my brain just shut off.
Really?
So yeah, so like there are things that startle but not really scare. I mean, I actually remember there was this one time I was seeing something online, and there was this thread with a bunch of scary stories, and I was unnerved, and I could have sworn I was going to have a nightmare, but then it wound up actually being a dream about me kissing Jessica Biel.
Hey, that's a nice dream.
Yeah, not what I was expecting from all those creepy stories.
Yeah. It sounds like. Yeah, it kind of sounds like your subconscious is actually turned on by scary stories.
No, I think it just doesn't give a fuck. Anyway, I do occasionally like a good horror movie if it's actually got a good story on top of it, so that when normal people are shitting themselves, I can actually just sort of sit back and wait.
Cool.
But one that I recently saw was Paranormal Activity, which is apparently getting a lot of attention now.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, I've been hearing some good reviews about it.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Like I said, the sort of creepy part of it still sort of translates. So I did like the story. I liked where it was going. Man, this will be a spoiler, but anyone who watches this movie, expect the psychic to be a complete pussy.
Does it like fuck the mind, pretty much?
I wouldn't say it's really a mind fuck. It's kind of like, it's just the kind of shit that happens that kind of like gets under your skin a little bit.
Ah, okay.
I mean, I heard a lot of things about people they're actually leaving the movie because it was too scary. So I don't know. Part of that might just be that a lot of people don't have the sort of thick skin that I do, or they just kind of, crappy entertainment has been lately.
Right.
And I haven't really seen any horror anime or horror games. I played Resident Evil 2, and I was a little unnerved, but I think most of that just kind of fades off once you realize, A, it's a work of fiction, and B, half of it is because controls are shit.
Yeah, true. The tank controls were not the greatest, especially in the early days of Resident Evil.
Still on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I that's pretty much it for me.
Okay. It's funny is that Paranormal Activity is probably the better horror movies right now, and because it is, there's gonna be like now sequels coming out, and if that's the case, we might have where it might become like Saw, where like you'll have like one or two good movies, and then like the rest are shit.
I think that goes for anything that has sequels.
True. I don't know. I just want to make a comparison because like Saw, like the first two or three. No, I take that back. One and two were good, I heard, and then like the rest, I heard was like and then I heard the sixth one so far is actually pretty decent. So I don't know.
They got to 6.
Yeah, it's the sixth Saw they're coming out with.
Yeesh.
Yeah, but I heard decent reviews. I mean, I heard people saying it's actually pretty good, and then not to mention the games coming out with this movie too. So the games, it's all right.
And there's a game. Holy crap! These people really don't know when to quit, do they?
I mean, in the hands of a good developer, the Saw game could have been a better and more scary game, but it just becomes
But the problem is nobody's going to touch that with a 10-foot pole because that's an instant mature rating.
I wouldn't say like, well, I'm sure fans of the series might pick it up and just to play it, but to the kind of smart gamer or to everybody else, like it's a decent game. I mean, they could have done better in the hands of a better publisher and company. They might have, but it's like put in like let me try to think. Put in third person action game. Combat is sluggish. Puzzles are easy to solve, and it's a very short story and walkthrough. So, yeah, it's kind of what sums it up, really.
Out of curiosity, do you know the rating that it has?
Oh yeah, it's M. Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of hard to make it scary when it's in a video game sometimes. I mean, like for Saw, like you have that like one scene in one of the scenes in the video game, like the guy, you're one of the characters, and like you have to escape the jaw breaking machine that's attached to your head, and like it even when it does like initiate and you do die, it's not really scary. It's just I don't know. It doesn't feel like it. Like it doesn't feel like because it's a video game. That's probably the first part of it. Is, but like the second part is like it doesn't give the atmosphere of what Saw really is. I mean, so yeah, it's decent. So I would.
Is it of the first-person shooter genre?
Nah, it's a third person view, third person action type of thing.
See, now the problem is polygons aren't both.
Yeah, I mean, like if you really want to compare a really scary game, like compare it to something like say like there's a game for PS3. It's called Siren, and you take control of like several characters. One has a gun, one doesn't. And like the graphics on that look way more better than Saw ever does. But it was more of the kind of disturbing, kind of fuck with your mind kind of game. But it works very well. That, and I could think of a number of good example of good scary games like the God, what do you call it? The one on the Wii or on the GameCube for a long time. It was like it was like you use a camera to take pictures of ghosts.
Fatal Frame.
Luigi's Mansion?
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
Fatal Frame, dude. Yeah, Fatal Frame was a good horror series. And I think even released one more for the Wii. I'm not sure they're making another one, but that was a good horror series that really kind of gives that very scary vibe and that very kind of fuck with your mind kind of thing.
We should probably talk about Silent Hill too.
Yeah, Silent Hill 2 is like probably the first of all the best probably story for a game for that genre, and second it's pretty creepy. It has some sick shit that well, given if you play it now, it's you'll still get some scariness out of it, but like back then when it first came out, I'm pretty sure it's scared shitless like some kids out there who played that game. Have either of you played Silent Hill 2?
I didn't get very far.
No.
See, the problem is my controller. I'm trying to play it on PC, and the controller scheme is kind of fucked up. See, considering how old it is, it doesn't really have the Xbox 360 thing, so I kind of have to, at some point, install a program and get all the shit done manually and figure out what the hell it was before.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, Silent Hill 2. Yeah, it's a pretty creepy game, and like kind of Resident Evil, like the combat controls are very sluggish. They're not the best. But the way that they tell the story in the game and the way the kind of enemies you see makes it more creepy and very well done. Yeah, it's probably one of the best horror games, really. But yeah. So Nate, anything you played or watched or whatever might have scared you back then, or or liked?
Well, back then, let's see. Well, way back then, when I was little, that was like back when Chucky was really popular.
Oh yeah.
I didn't. Well, I wasn't back. Well, back then I was just only watching TV. I wasn't really deep into video games, but I was just normally watching TV with the folks. So, whenever there was whatever movie that my mom or dad was watching, I would just started watching it. And sometimes they would be watching scary movies, and I was just like, when there was a scary movie on, I'd just watch along with them. And if it was scary, the fear factor wouldn't really kick in until like maybe 2 hours later, and it'd probably some random thought would probably happen, like maybe this would happen to me, or this would happen to me, something from the show or something. It can be something real that might happen from it, or something absurd, like, I don't know, some sort of fear of the dark or something. Like, something like a normal little child would have to, think about.
Okay.
Then later, when I started playing video games more, sometime I think back in the when I went to the Bay Area, there was this one PlayStation game I played. It was still Japanese because my friend played Japanese PlayStation games. I don't know what the game was called, but you played this woman, and you were in a hospital, and for some reason the hospital was haunted. And once you walk into a certain corridor in the hospital, it turned into some sort of haunted house. I don't know what it's called though, but it was like some sort of rainy night, and you like pick up clues. I don't. Maybe you might know it.
The only game I'm thinking of right now is was it Clock Tower?
If you can describe what the woman looks like, maybe.
Okay. Was she blonde?
Did she have glasses?
I can't remember exactly. Okay, but during the game, they like all she could do was like run and hide in the game.
She basically just walked and gathered clues, and sometimes she'd find bloody, gory scenes and all.
I don't know. You got me on that one. So,
Okay, well, anyway, then after that, during watching anime, watched I eventually lost that fear factor, and I eventually thought something scary was actually pretty just, it craved for thrill. The one thing I really wanted to see was the Winchester House. I never really got to see that. Winchester House.
oh, okay, cool.
So then after that, the Higurashi and Elfin Lied, those are the pretty cool stuff. And yeah, and so on.
I think it's the funny thing is about anime horror is like it's meant to kind of scare you in a way, but like sometimes it's kind of scare you when like you got hot anime chicks in the anime, so it's like it's supposed to be scary, but like you're like you seeing these girls, it's like I don't know what to feel. I mean, am I supposed to be scared or am I supposed to be turned on? I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's not scary for me. It just gives me that little adrenaline thrill, and then I think about the other mystery and all those girls.
I have a good mystery to solve in that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I think what's funny is that now that I think about it, there's like one. I mean, I saw my brother play it, and I played a demo a while back, and I had one of those oh shit moments when I was playing it on Xbox 360. Um, the Dead Space game that came out like a year or two ago.
Oh yeah, the one I told you about.
Yeah, Dead Space. It got some. I wouldn't say I had some scary moods in it. The creatures themselves at first are pretty disturbing, pretty sick. Especially the ones that are like the babies are flying around you. It's kind of nasty.
Yeah, the first time I played that, I was like, "Whoa, what the heck are those things?" And then all of a sudden they start, killing your members.
Yeah, and like there is that tense moment where like you have to chop off like the arms and the legs, eventually the head, so that you won't get eaten or whatnot. Um, and like some of the creatures in that game are pretty disturbing. Although like after a while you kind of get used to it, and they don't scare you as much as before.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't know any other games right now for game wise for as an oh shit moment, but for anime, I wouldn't say Higurashi, but Elfin. I don't know how to say the last part, but I think it's Elfin Lied.
Elfin Lied.
Elfin Lied, yeah.
Lied, whatever.
Yeah, I know. Japanese say lead. I don't know. English say lie. But yeah, Alex knows that one. There was this one part where the main character, all of a sudden you're in a room that's full of blood, and it's like, whoa. But yeah, there's just a lot of blood in there. In comparison to Higurashi, Elfen Lied is much more crazy than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't mess with the puppy.
Yeah.
There's what?
Apparently, what's her name was a part of PETA.
What?
You know, the people for the ethical treatment of animals or whatever.
Okay, yeah, alright.
Oh wow, awesome. And there's one thing I kind of noticed with that anime is like, even watching just an AMV of it, like at Anime Expo, like a year or two ago, there is so much gore and shit going on in that anime. Like, man, like I think the one kind of disturbing part I saw through the AMV or like through like another clip of it from somewhere was where I don't know the names, but like it looked like they're little kids. They're in a room, and the boy is like he's getting beaten up, and like one of the other boys breaks a glass bottle and starts hitting him with it, and eventually killing him. And the girl is kind of watching, but like you don't see anything. It's all being covered by like the table, but you see the blood seeping underneath, and like she's like horrified, and like that's some a bit gets under your skin a little bit thinking about it, and also kind of explains why she is a little bat crazy later on.
That's not the reason why she's crazy, but yeah, it's a little horrifying.
Yeah.
It's the start of it, probably.
Yeah. But man, yeah, I mean, as you know, every year we have people watching horror movies or playing games or anime, and then dressing up for Halloween, or the one day that normal people, think it's okay to dress up on that day. Um, um, it let me see, trying to put it in the right words. Um, cos Halloween helped kind of in a way having cosplay in the mainstream, more people are more acceptable to people in costumes. Kind of like back then you didn't.
Are you talking about like a link between cosplay and Halloween costumes?
Right. Yeah, like it's hard to describe, but like because like on Halloween everybody dresses up as a whoever they want to, and like everybody doesn't freak out or kind of think like what the hell's going on. It's Halloween, people dress up, and everybody accepted that. And as anime conventions pop up here and there, some people kind of get used to it, and some people are still kind of trying to figure out why we're dressing up on a day that is not on Halloween, and like kind of look at us weird. Not like they do it anyways, but
Maybe they look at you weird.
True. I mean, I did dress up today, giving out candy to trick or treaters as Naruto, and yeah. But yeah, I mean like we're anime conventions and cosplay are becoming a bit more acceptable in society. I mean, a bit more mainstream. We're not like there isn't like people freaking out every time it happens. More than likely they like kind of find it pretty cool. And then like they often like ask to take pictures with us, because when if you like they're curious to see like like how we make these costumes and why we're dressing up, so they're pretty cool about it. Yeah, so I mean, was there ever a time well, let's see. I know you cosplayed once, Alex, and then I know, Nate, you cosplayed a few times.
No, I didn't really cosplay.
He kinda did.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
What I did was not a cosplay, man.
I guess. Well, fine, whatever, man.
Dude, it was an obscure anime, and nobody would have counted it without the gun.
Fine, but you had a little sign that said you were losing a gun.
Yeah, true.
Fucking con security.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, I don't have anything else to say about. I'm like, you guys can think of anything like as far as linking how cosplay has become more mainstream thanks to Halloween in some ways.
Well, I can say that Japan has a lot of favorites in certain things like this, like probably like considering costumes. I was listening to something on the radio yesterday or the day before on concerning Halloween candy. This is somewhat similar. You know the candy Kit Kat? How we like it as it's one of our favorite candies to serve around Halloween time. Well, in Japan, they really like Kit Kat. In fact, they have over 200 flavors of Kit Kat.
No way.
No lie.
Wait,
In
wait.
fact, they
What flavors do they have? Because I know we only have like chocolate or like maybe even like cookies and cream, but like, well, what flavors do they have?
well, they have green tea Kit Kat. They have a special spring edition Kit Kat. I don't know what that is. They have I don't know. They had some bizarre names for them. Like they had special season ones. Um, there were some weird ones, but you can just think of something. But yeah, oh, there was this one girl who was going to do this, or I think it was a spelling bee or a pageant, and she glued, I don't know, rhinestones all over her Kit Kat as a good luck charm.
Interesting. Go on.
Yeah. Because
By any chance did this girl get tested for any sort of mental incident?
No. Because Japan really likes their Kit Kat because they consider Kit Kat a really lucky thing or whatever. I don't know. But yeah.
Huh.
In other words, they just love their Kit Kat. It's because the name Kit Kat is similar to the term kitokatsu.
Which means?
Which I don't know yet.
Oh.
I know. I don't know.
So Japan pretty much worships the Kit Kat brand, and then that was started over here in the U.S. or whatever.
It's actually something from Nestle that thought of this idea that they would market it Kit Kat more in Japan than in the USA as an idea to serve 200 flavors in Japan than in the US as a better marketing idea.
Nice. Huh, yeah. I think the fun times, like when you were trick-or-treating back then, is that the shitload of candy you always piled up, and like you will always have for weeks, like you take with you to lunch, and like, or you pop some like some Kit Kat bars or Butterfinger, like in between breaks. The good times.
Yeah.
But yeah. It has. I mean, if you look at it now, I mean, I wouldn't say they kind of mainstreamed it already, but like a few examples of like how anime cosplay are kind of getting into kind of the mainstream, like for Halloween, is that you see pre-made costumes that usually you wouldn't see, being sold at like Spirit or like those Halloween specialized shops they have. And you see costumes like Naruto or like even you know, Pokemon, but or Yu-Gi-Oh. But like, I mean, like it's working there, but I mean, like of course, you know, not Walmart or any company can make a good costume where a cosplayer can make it just as good or even better. But it is pretty cool to see that society is accepting more and more of the kind of Halloween and cosplay anime thing we do.
It'd be nice if those pre-made cosplays that you buy and wherever you find them, be nice if they're tailored better.
Yeah, really. There was one time I ordered a costume from a company, and it was late, and they sent me it was my Ichigo Soul uniform and my Shimigami uniform, and they sent me the wrong size. They sent me a large, and I had to fix it prior to Fanime, and I had like 4 or 5 days to do it, and I was like rushing and trying to get it done in time. I mean, luckily I was, but yeah, they messed up on my order, and I was kind of pissed.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean like it's fine like once in a while for them like just put out a shitty Naruto or whatever costume out there. But like if they were ever tailored better and sold maybe a bit higher or like a little at a good price, I'm pretty sure like at least to us anime fans like we will like have some respects for the people wearing those costumes than the other people who just bought their costume like at Walmart and like is like the designs are just painted on and not uh you know took any effort to really make the costume.
Yeah, I think those kind of store-bought things are only sort of a little bit good for exposure.
Yeah.
Because obviously they still look like crap, and they're still usually like shonen shit.
Yeah.
To be honest, even though I don't particularly like dot hack or dot hack sign or whatever, it seems like something like that. Even if it was a store-bought thing, if somebody went out in Halloween dressed up as that, you could kind of see a little bit more. How should I put?
A bit more soul into it.
No, like, you could kind of have a little bit more respect for them doing it.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Because that's the thing. It's a little bit more mainstream. You probably see cosplayers cosplaying as anime characters instead of whatever random crappy shit people usually do for Halloween.
Yeah.
Like, zombies apparently is a favorite recently.
Yeah, zombies have been getting a lot of love recently. Left 4 Dead 2 is kind of making it popular, and then like some of the other zombie-based mods recently, including Call of Duty, and some a few zombie movies here and there. But yeah, zombies have been getting a lot of love recently.
Yeah, but part of that is also because it's really easy.
True.
I mean, there's like, you can make fake like scabs and shit like that, but aside from that, it's basically just a character and blood.
Yeah, and all you do is either you be like the type of zombie where you walk slowly, or the 28 days later type of zombie that you run at you and kind of just gnaw at your innards at a very fast pace.
Yeah, I think that really when more sort of non-mainstream anime characters are sort of out there, obviously the cosplayers will probably be part of this mainly now. But once that sort of becomes sort of the usual thing to do for some people, I think it'll sort of catch on to people who, like I say, maybe watch anime on occasion, but aren't really that much into the fandom. But Halloween's already there,
Yeah.
so it's like they may figure for one day they can kind of do this costume or this character that they thought was cool in this anime at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know when that day will be, but as time progresses and as time, you have people be more comfortable, and you still have your anime conventions where thousands and thousands of people come every year. And then when Halloween pops up, they'll look at it too, and they say like, it's not so different. Anime conventions and Halloween, they're basically the same thing. So what they do is, for anime fans, what they do is they have fun on those days, just like on Halloween. So it's not that they're weird. It's just they like to dress up and have fun.
Yeah, hopefully they'll also get some more people with emotional stability into the scene.
Yeah. Although
I think we all have our stories for that.
yeah, I think that you brought it up earlier, but this is pretty off topic. But did you guys ever think of a zombie plan if it ever happened?
Bring med packs and some guns.
I think mine involved looting a gun store or someplace with guns, getting a bunch of shotguns and ammo, then raiding a meat factory and a Pocky factory, and then just completely barricaded in there.
Pocky.
But eventually you're gonna run out of food, and ammo and ammunition for your guns.
The food isn't a problem because meat can be made into jerky.
Oh, dude. You gonna have some zombie jerky?
Not zombie jerky. You're going to a friggin' meat factory.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But like, what if? Okay, so the question.
You can always repurpose the cutting machinery for some more up close and personal methods.
Right, right. But like the thing is though, is like, if it's the Walking Dead zombies, I'm pretty sure that won't be a problem for most people, because like we could just shoot them like just standing there, like in the head, and don't have to worry about anything, and just kind of go around doing that. But like if it's like the 28 days later kind of zombies, where like they come at you running, man, that's a whole nother story, man.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any good plan for that.
Yeah. My zombie plan was just move up to Alaska, like where it's cold, because I figured that zombies. My theory is that if zombies were gonna try to go across the cold front, the cold snow, trying to get to like Alaska or somewhere cold, like they'll end up freezing to death pretty soon, and like they'll freeze, and like their arms will, like, I don't know, like grow like the icicle and pop off, or like they'll stop moving like altogether and like just become frozen over time.
Well, if you assume that their bodies don't really generate heat as well once they become zombies, then yeah, that would probably work.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been thinking about that would be my plan. I'm not sure though. I kind of rethinking, like, in case that doesn't work, because if zombies, like, pretty much only thing working right there for the zombies is their brain to some capacity, like the basic functions of what a zombie can do.
If they have one.
Well, they do. It's like the body needs a brain for it to function in some way. Zombies, they're dead, but their brain is still alive to some degree, and able for them to move and to eat and kind of keep going.
On a very low-level scale, I'm sure.
More like a rotten brain.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm pretty sure that they don't have no feelings in their bodies at all. So I'm pretty sure, like, you know, when when they go across the Atlantic or go across some icy cold place, like they would keep going to the point to where they'll like their like ice will start to form on their bodies and eventually makes their bodies not able to move anymore eventually from the cold and the ice. But it's a theory, but it sounds logical in some ways. So yeah. So in case any of you are thinking, yeah, make a zombie plan. And if any of us becomes a zombie, just remember, as we are eating your innards, you are being eaten by the podcasters that once were humans and now are zombies that loved anime and video games.
Speak for yourself, man. I'm not dying in that shit.
I know, but just in case,
Seriously.
no, just in case, unless you want to take the way out and like kind of take yourself out before the zombies get to you. But yeah, yep. So yeah, I'm sure you trick or treaters out there are pretty much eating candy at this moment and like trying to rot your teeth away as you listen to this podcast, or as you like having that huge hangover the day or 2 days after Halloween.
They're probably going through my math teacher's crap.
I bet. All right then. So when we come back, we'll come back with the news, and yeah, we will go from there.
James, honey, did something happen to you? After we got separated in that long hallway? Are you confusing me with someone else? You were always so forgetful. Remember that time in the hotel?
Maria?
You said you took everything, but you forgot that videotape we made. I wonder if it's still there.
How do you know about that? Aren't you Maria?
So, I got a few news stories to talk about. But once we get through this, yeah, we plan to play a bit of Borderlands after this. So, expecting a short news segment on this episode. All right, so the first story I want to bring up is brought to you by GameSpy. Minors excluded from social networking on Xbox 360. Pretty much with the new dashboard update that's coming up with Xbox 360, where they have integrated both Facebook and Twitter and other things they added on. The thing that snuck in there that nobody didn't expect, or at least for the minors, is that with this next update can block people or minors who have 360 accounts and cannot use the Twitter and or the Facebook function because you have to be 18 to use it, which is kind of lame, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm over 18, so I don't really care. But it's it is what it is. I mean, like it is a harsh thing for minors, but at the same time, it's how things roll. It's like I guess it'll just be a bit more better for them as they get older. I mean, for me, like when I wanted to play something that was over 18 or over mature rating, like I couldn't play it, or like I'd try to find sneaking ways to play it, like Doom. Yeah, fun times.
Well, as long as their parents approve, it's alright also.
True, very true. Yeah. So, yeah, and I'm pretty sure any minors listening to this, like probably the first response is like, "Oh, fuck you guys, fucking bitches." Anyway, all right. The next news story I want to bring up, also thanks by GameSpy, National Toy Hall of Fame honors Game Boy. Nintendo's Game Boy inducted into the National Toy Hall of Fame. So the original Nintendo Game Boy was honored to be in the National Toy Hall of Fame, where among other inductees this year that were competing for that same spot was the Big Wheel, Cabbage Patch Kids, and the Paper Airplane. But it is cool to see that the Game Boy is being honored in a way where it's been the longest lasting piece of product beyond the stages of the fad that people have been saying, and that this Nintendo product as a whole, with the Game Boy, with the Game Boy DS and everything else that came after it, has been going for this long since the early 90s, and has majority dominated the handheld market for so long.
Was it like in the early 80s it started?
I want to say yeah, because I remember getting the fat Game Boy when it first came out, and like playing Tetris. I played the shit out of that game, but I think it did come out like in the early 90s, late 80s. I want to say.
I think it came out like right before I was born.
Yeah, I can't remember either. What was your first Game Boy that you played?
My first Game Boy, the fat Game Boy.
Awesome. What games did you play on it?
I remember going to my uncle's place, and then I played the Super Mario Brothers, and I always felt, I was like, I think they also had Tetris. Yeah. I didn't really like Tetris because I was really bad at. I didn't get the whole concept of the game until later, that you had to like clear out all those blocks into stuff. I always liked Super Mario and all that.
Cool. Yeah. Man, I remember when was the Game Boy Color when that came out, and I had the Game Boy Pocket, and it was, when I looked at the color one, I was so jealous of my friends who had that. Man, I told my dad, like, hey man, look at this, it's in color, we have to get it. I was so excited. Of course, I stuck with my Game Boy Pocket, but oh man, yeah, at times like when I was seeing other people with their Game Boys and have better versions of mine, I was like, damn man, I wish I had that. But yeah, my first Game Boy was like the original fat Game Boy in Tetris, and that was like my only game I was playing. But yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, but you can see from that one website picture that shows the news of what you say. The original Game Boy doesn't really look like that. That's more like a Game Boy Pocket. When Game Boy Pocket clear picture, more like the Game Boys have more of a little blurrier picture. Man, the first time I've played the Game Boy Pocket, that's what I got the first time. Game Boy Color, out.
Yeah, the screen resolution of the Game Boy back then was not the best. Like the green textures and kind of mix matching with the with the way the black was handled with it, it it wasn't the best looking thing in the world. But as kids, like we didn't care. As long as it's a video game and it works.
Yep, true.
So, Alex, have you ever what was the first Game Boy you played, or what was any of them that you have played that you really liked?
I think I started off with the Pocket, and then eventually, once the color came out, I got that too.
Nice. What game?
And then, well, I started off with basically just Pokemon.
Ah, yes.
I think I would rent games up until probably about when Game Boy Advance came out, and then I started playing some of the Mega Man Zero games.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a game that we forgot to mention, is that when Pokemon came out, in the original, like the blue and red version, and at the time the anime had came out on over here too. Like, I remember taking it out and just religiously playing it when Pokemon came out, and I had the blue version, and man, I came so close to collecting everyone except for Mewtwo. I was like the only one I forgot to capture. I did capture Missing Note, but yeah, Pokemon was such a time sink. It was such an addictive thing for me.
Pokemon was the reason I actually bought a Game Boy Pocket. But Game Boy Pocket, that was the first Game Boy I got. It was like one of those neon green limited edition ones.
Oh, you lucky bastard. I wanted that so bad. Oh. Yeah, I only managed to get the blue one, or like the plain blue Game Boy Pocket. But yeah, it is cool to see that the Game Boy is getting inducted to the Toy Hall of Fame. So, congrats to the Game Boy and many years of more success. Okay, so moving right along onto this next story that I bring up. Okay, all right, I'm gonna pronounce this wrong. I'm gonna butcher the name like I always do, unless I say it slowly. Oshi's Musashi holds U.S. premiere in San Francisco. Basically, there is and I was kind of reading this, so it was pretty awesome. It's an anime documentary of sword fighting tactics. I want to say technician, but it's not it. It's whatever. Tactician. Yes. Musashi Miyamoto will hold its American premiere at the Forbes San Francisco. Oh, it is Miyamoto. Oh, okay. But yeah,
Slow down, breathe, and then say it.
But I want to get through this. All right, sure. Okay. They're holding its American premiere at the 4th San Francisco International American Festival on Saturday, November 14th. This film that and it's being helped created by the guy who did Ghost in the Shell, the Sky Crawlers, and Avalon. But Miyamoto is a legendary swordsman who pioneered in the style of the two-sword fighting and wrote the Book of the Five Rings. So I didn't know this was going to come out, nor did I know that the fact it's an anime documentary, which makes things a bit more cooler or interesting. But this is coming out in San Francisco on November 14th. So, yeah, actually, you know what? After reading this, I'm actually going to check it out. What's today? The 6th? Yeah, I'm actually going to check this out. So, I know...
7th.
Oh, 7th. I know you're a bit of a sword nut, Nate, but, Would you check this out if you had the chance?
A little? And I guess, I don't know.
It would be interesting. It's an anime documentary. So, yeah. So if you guys in the
Yeah, true.
so you guys in the area, check it out for us. Tell us what you think, and then we'll, if it's good vibes and everything, then we'll go check it out probably. That, or if you donate money to us to go, then we'll happily go for you guys.
Give us money, please.
Yes. We should really put a donate button on our website. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe when we get our domain name, but yeah. Anyways. And then I just want to say this last. Do you want to pitch in your quick stories real quick, Nate?
Don't you have one more story?
I do, but I want to make this the last one because it's interesting and a bit weird.
Alright then. Let's see. I'll go with the anime news. Okay, okay, never mind. I'll go with the game ones first. To all the MMO fans out there, seems like the FPS most popular game out there right now is called Alliance of Valiant Arms. Due to the using the Unreal Engine, it's become the most popular FPS shooter out there at the moment. And even though they didn't really expect it to be that popular, it's become popular not because of what they expected to, because they into a Counter-Strike clone. They really expected, they had more anticipation for it. They had it on, well, yeah, okay. Just
Huh. The most they claim that it's the most popular MMO gun shooter right now.
Currently, yes. Really, because graphically it looks really good, and also it has a current fighting mode called escort mode, where you have to escort a tank from point A to point B. One team has to protect it, the other team and the tank within a certain time limit.
The question is it free?
Most of the MMOs I talk about are free. So yes, it is free.
Cool, awesome. So what was the name of that game again?
Alliance of Valiant Arms. Called AVA Online.
Awesome. So if you guys want to go check it out, I suggest you Google it.
You can.
Or go on, Nate. You can tell them.
Just go to iggi.com.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes it
As
easier.
for anime news, okay. Yeah. As for anime news, the governor of Iwate calls a Moe character our wife. According to Excite News, Sanri...
Wait, hold on. Tell me again. Because I was like eating and I was like, yeah, slowly, tell me.
The governor of I can't really say this either. I call it Governor of Iwate calls a Moe character our wife. Okay, let me open it up. According to Excite News, Sanriku Railway held a National Tetsudo Musume Summit on November 1st. Tetsudo Musume is a character series representing Japanese local railways. Figures of the Moe characters in the motorman uniforms have been released since 2005, and they got novel and manga adaptations. Local railways gathered in the summit and had workshops such as Kawaii says the local industry. Tasso Takia, of Governor of Iwate Prefecture, wants to use one of these characters, who is Kujishin of the local Iwate. That's okay. Okay, and then Governor Tasso revealed that he has her poster in his office and said, "Kuji Alice is our wife," which means Uchi no Yome, which is why it said our wife. And this is quoted from DTSHYK of My Enemy List.
Wow, that is interesting.
Yeah. Let's see.
See, if there was
other shorts. Yeah.
See, if there was a, oh man, cause like, okay, like if there was something like that over here, like if there was like a mole character for each state here in the U.S., I think I could say.
You mean Moe, not mole? Sounds like you're saying mole, not Moe.
Mole. But
Take back
okay,
California.
Man. Okay, home.
Boy.
Mole.
Okay, what were you saying?
Mole. Okay.
What?
Okay. As I was saying though, like if it was over here in the U.S. and each state over here had its own wife, I think California. I think California would have a. Well, first off, California, the girl have to be in a bikini. Has to be at least sunbathed. What else? The qualifications. She must have at least big boobs. I'm actually, the more I think about it, I think California would be Yoko. Like, I think that'd be the wife of California. It makes
Yoko from Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean,
that's your idea.
No, seriously, like, okay, California itself is a big state. It's got like one of the most actually, it has like probably one of the biggest populations in the U.S. So populations big equals, boob size. Therefore, Yoko equals win.
You could have at least said because Hollywood was here.
I know.
That would have made a lot more sense, man.
Yeah, that is true. And it's, of course, we're the country of the sun, or not country, but we're the state of the sun. Wow, I'm totally out of it right now. So it does make sense. I mean, like in some terms, I may be wrong, or but yeah, like Alex said, like it does make sense because of Hollywood and the fact that it's always sunny over here, and one of the biggest states in the U.S. So yeah, I think Yoko would be our wife.
And in the worst case scenario, the mascot could always have boob jobs.
Very true. Although I think Yoko's boobs are big enough as it is. Yeah. So, anything else, Nate?
Okay. Quite a few, and I'll quickly do it. Maeda June takes a temporal leave from Key. According to the official blog of Angel Beats, Maeda June took a temporal leave from Key. He said in the blog that he completed all the scripts of Angel Beats and got a burnout. There's also extra DVD and Blu-ray discs versions of the following, and that is Towaru Kagaku no Railgun, Queen's Blade 2, and Shinkoi Hime Muso, and a Blu-ray only extra short of True Tears. And there's also going to be, yeah.
Okay, so he's taking a break from writing all these scripts, but the majority of the work is done, right?
Yes, it said that he completed all the scripts of the upcoming anime Angel Beats.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. I can understand how one guy can be working his ass off in Japan making these animes, especially if some of these are actually pretty good. Yeah, I can only imagine, but yeah, the guy deserves a break. I mean, after all,
it's only a temporal leave.
Yeah,
it's only a temporal leave.
Yeah, I mean, after all, we got
let's see.
Oh.
Yeah, we got Queen's Blade. You were going to say that, right?
Yes, exactly. We got Queen's Blade to keep us occupied.
All right, moving along. Where was it? Okay, the Capo anime announced. It's going to be called the Capo 3. Yeah, it's going to be called the Capo 3. There's not much news about it since it's really early in the making, but it's just going to be a third season of, it's not really a third season, but it's just that they're finally announcing that it's going to be released, and a lot of fans are really happy about it, and there's some fans that are kind of stressed that they're making another one. Well, not fans that are stressed, but people that are stressed.
Right.
And finally, an anime. This one's going to be Nojiri Hosuke to commercialize Sora no Otoshimono's flying panties. Okay, according to the Twitter post of Nojiri Hosuke, the novel author of Rocket Girls, he will commercialize a panty-shaped toy plane inspired by the ending animation of Sora no Otoshimono Episode 2. Nojiri was deeply impressed by the ending animation and created a rubber band-powered toy plane to reproduce the flying pants. He said he cannot disclose anything concrete about the project, but he will do his best to meet Soroto's fans' expectations. Everything is secret.
Question is...
Wow.
Here's my question. Will they, first off, be female underwear that he's inspired to make?
That's a stupid question.
Do you guys wear panties?
I know.
Do you?
Never... Hey, I'm just saying,
wear panties?
Dude, it's a friggin' toy.
Alright. And here's my second question. Because my mind's already there. Will they be used panties? Yeah, this is the 18 over section of the podcast.
Are you going to be catching these panties?
No, although if they, I don't know, it'd be kind of weird to see them in the air, but like, yeah, I don't know, maybe. Yep. So,
Dead
interesting.
silence. Okay.
Yeah.
And I have one more game news. I left it out. For all you convention people, the founder of Comic-Con died.
Oh, yeah. I saw that story the other day. Yeah, the guy who originally created Comic-Con San Diego died. Man. Yeah, that was... yeah. That is a bit sad to hear, because without him, the comic book conventions of today wouldn't be as big as the original San Diego Comic Con when he first started it.
I have a couple
Right.
questions. How old was he?
He died at the age of 76. His name was Shel Dorf. He said he died at the same hospital where he spent much of his year being treated for diabetes.
Which kind of leads into my second question. Was he fat?
I do not know.
From the picture I saw, he wasn't really that fat. Maybe like a little husky, but not like overweight fat nerd.
Alright, because we all know that kind of stereotype that goes around.
Oh yeah.
In America, yeah.
Yeah. Man.
Because, I mean, if it was like some 50-year-old guy who died of a heart attack from chowing down on too many cheeseburgers, that would actually be kind of funny.
Yeah, I guess.
Convention-wise, yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. Man. But, that's kind of sucks though, but, thanks to him though, we got tons of conventions, and people are starting to, well, not starting to, but they kind of, realize more and more of these conventions pop up every so often, and like tons of people come together, whether it be comic books or anime. So it is pretty cool. I mean, not cool. I mean, it is sad to hear that he died, but thanks to him, we have what we got today.
Right.
Cool. So
yeah.
I'm going to end this podcast with this last news story that I brought up today. And it's rather interesting, if I might add. Okay.
Go on.
JJ. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, thank you. Bravo. Okay. Here, J.J. Abrams, the director who did Star Trek, did the 2009 version, Lost, and Alias, has been reported as the director and producer for this Hasbro film that's based on the Micronauts action figure line. And these toys were 1976, 1980 Micronauts toys from the defunct Mego Corporation were actually rebranded Microman action figures from the Japanese toy company Takara, now a part of Takara Tomy. And then like later on, like in 1998 to 2000 in Japan, they actually based an anime series off these toys, which spawned for 52 episodes. And it came out in 1999. But that is interesting because like I'm looking at the picture and it looks like pretty much Transformers, but like instead of vehicles transforming the humans, it's like humans in robotic armor. And yeah, from the looks of it. But the thing about it, if J.J. Abrams does, I mean, like if he works on this, I think this may be even be better than a Transformers movie.
It looks like um, where were those guys' names again? Voltron, yeah.
Voltron. That'd be kind of cool, though. I mean, look.
I don't know. They remind me of them for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, look. As far as we know, Transformers 2, the Michael Bay film. Yeah, I think tons of explosions and kind of just like some things that were kind of off and just like didn't make sense. Like the part where the girl in the college room like was trying to get the main guy, but then she transforms into a robot, which was like, yeah, it didn't make sense. Like, yeah, I don't know. Anywho, so that's it. Yay, we're done finally. Woo. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure this episode will be the latest episode that we ever done, because I'm sitting here on a Saturday getting this done, and yeah, I'll upload it tonight, and then you guys can listen to it whenever. But yeah, so with that, let's end up with some closing rituals. You can check us out on iTunes. Look up Mission Start. And then you can also check us out on our website, www.missionstartpodcast.weebly.com. And then you can also follow me on Twitter, Defective Naruto / was it Twitter / Defective Naruto? Yeah, either.
http://twitter.com/defective Naruto.
Okay, got it. But yeah, we've been doing a lot of changes to the website. We've been adding a lot of new content. So I invite you guys to check it out, and then let you guys know. We are going to. Well, by the time you listen to, well, take that back. It'll be in time for when you guys listen to this. Our first anime convention, we're going to have our official report on the SAC anime, and we'll give you all the details and after our thoughts about it after the whole con deal's over. But yeah, if you so happen to listen to this podcast and you would like to meet us, SAC anime is gonna be on it's on the January 8th, 9th, and 10th. You can go check out the details on our website. It'll be up. Just go check out the convention report tab and yeah, check it out. But yeah, so
basic social rules apply.
Pretty much. So any closing thoughts, you guys, before we sign out?
Props to the news and my anime list and mmosite.com or net for finding the news.
Cool. Alex?
I wish I had a burger.
And
Me too.
That's my
Me
closing
three.
thought.
Alright then. Let's go get you a burger. Alright, man. So this is Anthony, Alex, and Nate signing off. And see you whenever we have time.